Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another kind of process video, I guess. It's not rocket science at all. I just wanted to show you kind of what I'm thinking as I kind of move into this this arena of creating a little bit more scrappy like. So I want to be, I love layers as I talk about all the time, and I want to really incorporate that into my journal making. So I have been following Heather over at Ruby and Pearl, as I mentioned before, and what she does is she does a lot of embossing on book pages and digitals and things like that, which I showed in the Mixed Media 101, episode 1. Where we use texture paste on various kinds of paper. Today I want to do some, use some embossing folders. These are, I believe they're the 3D embossing folders. So we're going to be doing some of those. So I've got a few designs I'll let you kind of take a peek at here before we move on. This one's kind of a leaf design. Oh, you can see it better on that side. Like that. There's a little bit of a glare there. This one, really beautiful. I've used this one quite a lot. Some of them are newer to me. Hobby Lobby had a bunch of them on clearance, so I definitely grabbed those up. I absolutely adore this one. And then this is a new one that I have not yet used. So I thought it was really cool because basically what the idea is to create those layers. You can just do this embossing on paper, and then you just tear it and you just layer it into your design, and it is so fun. Layers are so interesting. I think that they create a lot of interest, visual interest, without a lot of work. So that's what I'm aiming for here. These are the papers that I've selected, just various scrapbook papers. So I've got some scraps of scrapbook paper. I've got some watercolor paper. This one has a drawing on the back, but I decided to go ahead and sacrifice that because it was one of my larger sheets of a cheaper watercolor paper. So we've got some pink there. I'm going to kind of divide these up by type over here. I've got a really old vintage book music page. I'm not sure how this is going to work. Because it's kind of fragile, but we're going to play and experiment together. Another vintage music page. This is a little bit more stable. A vintage book page, again, very fragile. Some digitals. And I'm not going to go through talking about where these all come from. If you want to know one in particular, I definitely would share that with you, but I'm not sure that I'm going to link all of them. And here's more various grades of watercolor paper. This is my coffee dyed paper. You would have seen the video of how I made this. I am actually using the original. I did scan all of them, so I have them. But I want to use the original because I think I'm going to really like that look. More watercolor paper. Should have sorted before I turned the camera on. We've got some more scrapbook paper. This is printed. This one is fairly thin. And I don't think I really want that one. I think I grabbed that by accident. This is a Tim Holtz one, and another Tim Holtz, I believe. Another piece of that coffee dyed paper. This is also coffee dyed paper that I did recently. So it's going to be epic. And then this one as well. And this is the other half of that. I cut everything down. Well, I didn't cut the scrapbook paper all down, but most everything is cut so that it will fit in the Sizzix machine. And we're going to talk about the machine here in just a second. I'm not going to go into great detail about the mechanics of it. I would encourage you to hop over to Heather over at Ruby and Pearl. She does a pretty elaborate deep dive into how this machine works in terms of the plates and stuff. I'm still figuring it out, just because when you use an embossing folder like this that's more three-dimensional, it can be tricky to remember what plates you need to have and what part of the sandwich you're working with and all of that. So, and then these are again more digitals. I'm not going to do all these on camera, but I just wanted to show you some of the things that I'm thinking I want to use just to create some different variation in paper. These are all white backed, so I did not double print them. which is okay. The way that I will be ending up using them, I probably won't need them to be. A lot of these are from Ruby and Pearl. Some are from Sam Poole Designs. I just purchased some more of Sam Poole stuff, so really beautiful. I am going to go for this one again. I did this in the Mixed Media 101 video where I did some stenciling on it with some goldish colored paste. This time I want to emboss on it because I'm, again, working on my sister's journal. So that's what we've got going on there. So those are the digitals. These are the coffee dyed papers. These are the watercolor papers. And some vintage book and music pages. I didn't really grab very many of those. I might have to do more. We'll see. Scrapbook paper. And then these are the embossing folders that I pulled. So we've got these cute butterflies I thought might be fun. They kind of seem a little cartoonish, but I thought that about my stencil too, and it turned out really beautiful. So, and then I love this one. I've used this a lot. And then this is a new one I haven't used yet. Some script, another one that I think I've used this. It's kind of hard to see, isn't it? I'm not sure if I'll use all of these, but the dots, I love the dots. So we'll be using the dots a lot. And this one is also a new to me one. This is another one I picked up at Hobby Lobby at like next to nothing. I mean, I think I got it for like $1.50. So I think we're going to start with using some of the embossing folders first. So let's start with that. Let's just pick a couple just to do on camera here. I'll pick 2. So how about the dots and that? And just because I don't want to keep you here forever. So this could be a very, very long video. So I think I'll try to go ahead and let's do this embossing folder with this script embossing folder. And this, just so you know, in case you're wondering, I cut my papers down to at least 6 inches because that's how wide the plate is. So the plate is 6 inches wide. Hope that helps. So I don't mind, I don't worry too much about like cutting it to fit this way. I just cut it to kind of fit the other direction. So we're going to go ahead and put this in here. And I'm trying to remember, I never do this right, which way you want your paper if you want it to show. Let's just try it on this side. We can always do it again if it's not right. I can never remember which, if you've got a page that a paper that it matters on, which way you turn your paper in the thing, you know what I mean. So I will show you that when we're doing these are not dies, so we don't want that platform. One-handed dealio here. So our regular embossing folders are going to fall into this area. So we're going to put one plate down like so. We're going to run, I like to run it through like this with the closing of the embossing folder going that direction. I just kind of slide it a little bit till it meets there, and then I'm just going to run it through. Oh, we need our other plate. Goodness gracious, Cara-Renee. That's not going to do it's not going to do diddly squat. That's what I was looking for. Diddly squat, not lickety split. There we go. So you can bump into some resistance. Oh, that's clearly not working. Try this again. I thought for sure that was, maybe it's not. Maybe it needs to be the next platform. So this is kind of a, you've got to play around with it. So we're going to go ahead and just roll with it. I should make like a cheat sheet for myself so that I don't go through this every time. But here we go. This is the one. So we're going to just run that through. I clearly turned that around, so my hinge is right there. So it can be tricky to get that through. So let me just move this over and show you what we've got. So that was the wrong way. So we want whatever side you want to have. So I had it this way. So we do want the image this is going to be fine. This is going to be absolutely gorgeous. I'm not going to worry about this end bit. I'll probably just tear that off and use this part as a scrap. So that is that. So let's try this one again, just because I do want to get a good one, since that did not really fit the bill. Let's try some of the coffee dyed paper. This will be pretty in the coffee dyed, with the coffee dyed paper. So we want it to go this way so that the image is on the top. If that matters to you, that's what you're going to want to do. I'm going to turn this around so that my embossing folder fold is here, if that makes sense, I'm hoping. We're going to go ahead and put the plate on here. And this is very worth an investment, you guys, if you're researching. The Big Shot is epic, easy to use. It does make some scary sounds. And I like to roll it back through just because I like to have things on this side rather than kind of crossing my arms and trying to figure out which way we're going. So, oh, look at that. It's going to be epic. And so the other cool thing is when you're using this, you can come in with either some like an ink or with some paint. Like I like to use this iridescent gold fine paint a lot. So I could, when I tear some of this off, I could just rub a little bit of that gold paint over that and get a little bit more definition to those raised bits. But isn't that absolutely gorgeous? I love all the gold in here. I used gold ink in my coffee dyeing on this session. So that is that. It's even really, really cool on the back. So no loss there at all. So let's be done with that embossing folder. I think I'd like to try, let's try some book page here, or music page rather. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this one, and I'm going to put it in this dot folder here. If I can get it open. And so again, and I'm guessing that where the name is the part that's going to emboss. So that's what I'm going with. We'll find out. This is music on both sides, so it's not going to matter at all. So that's a benefit. It would have been useful for me to have printed another digital, coffee dye digital or something on the back of those other pieces, because then I wouldn't have had to think about which direction my paper needed to be. So just going to run this through. Oh, that's really light. So we need the other sandwich here. Not sandwich, we need the other plate. So let's just move this over. No big deal. It's a thinner embossing folder, so that's probably why. And they don't have to go in exactly straight. So just kind of set it on there and get it going. Now crooked here. Should be good. Now, my only concern about some of these vintage pages is that you can get some tearing because it's a cutter, right? It's going to cut into a thin paper. So, oh, this is going to be gorgeous. Gorgeous. Oh, look at that. Look at it. That is awesome. And even on the other side is cool. Of course, you don't have the raised bits on this side, but you have them on this side. So, oh, that's a win-win. So let's do this one again. I want to do this with something else. So let's do that with some watercolor paper here. I love using watercolor paper for embossing. So I've just grabbed a sheet. It doesn't matter what kind you use. I use mostly artist grade watercolor paper, so that's what I'm tending to grab for here, just some smaller pieces. So this is going to go in the same layer. There we go. The plate's got misaligned there. That's okay. See what we got. It's going to look kind of different on each paper, right? Oh, look at that. Oh, this would be gorgeous to put some gold on, or even to get some gold foil or something and just kind of put it here and there on that paper. But so basically what you do is I've already got a raw edge here just from the paper, and you would just rip another one and you would just layer this. Like, let's say this was part of, this was part of a journal, oh goodness, a tag or something, and you would kind of tear this crooked and it would just sit behind something else and be really pretty layer. So that is epic as well. So let's see, let's be done with that embossing folder. I really want to do the 3D ones. They're really, really cool. And I believe they go on the last platform. And I think they only use one plate, if I remember correctly. So do they, if there's only one plate, does this go on the top? I think this goes on the top when you're not using both plates. So we're going to find out though. So let's go ahead and get some of this coffee dyed paper and one of the embossing folders. So I'm going to try this one. And this one I think is the same deal. I think that whatever's the front of your embossing folder is the actual top. But we're going to find out. Again, this is double-sided, so it's not going to matter one bit. So I'm just going to close that. And I'm going to set it on here. I'm going to grab one plate and see how we go here. Hopefully this is going to work. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of resistance there, so we might not be correct here. Let's find out. That was way too easy. Way too easy for a 3D embossing folder, but it did work. So look at that. Look at that. Is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. And again, even on the back side, it's beautiful. So that's a definite win. I think I'd like to just go ahead and try it in here, just since I have this blue piece here. Let's just get this in here. And this is going to be a perfect size. So I want to capture some of that brown if I can, like so. And so even though it felt like there was not very much pressure, whoops, wrong way. There wasn't very much pressure and it worked out fine. So like not too much resistance, I guess. I'm used to resistance, so it's fine. It's really, really, really easy. Not using my muscles at all. There we go. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, look at that. I just think it's so interesting. This would be so pretty with some gold over the top or even some vintage photo. In fact, let me grab that and just show you what that would look like. Let me grab my makeup brush here. Hopefully you guys can see this with the machine still in the way. I'm going to grab my vintage photo archival ink. And we're going to just go ahead and try this and see what we get. So basically, I don't use my regular dopper. I like these for this application. So I'm just going to take it. I'm going to keep it flat on this surface, and I'm just going to rub. And then we're going to be pulling out that design. Oh, it's epic, epic, epic. Oh, this is cool. I'll hold it up for you in a second because I know the camera's kind of far away because of the big shot on the desk. Very, very cool. So just so easy to get a lot of visual interest in what you're working on without a lot of work. So this is kind of weird in that I put this strange design over this beautiful image, but that's just to give you an idea of what you could do. So let me switch to another 3D folder. I will link these all in the description box, not in the description box, over on my blog, and a link to the blog is in the description box. I do put all my supplies over on my blog because that's where I put all of the close-up photos. So we're going to go ahead and use this rose one right here. And again, it's not going to matter because it's printed on both sides. And I will link that video in case you guys are interested. The video very recently that we did this coffee dyeing with acrylic inks and created a lot of beautiful texture and stuff. So that's that. There we go. So look at that. Oh, that's gorgeous. It actually, so this one's a little bit weird because it's just it's the opposite of the impression. So because it's a 3D, it's multiple layers of depth of the embossing folder. And so you see kind of more divots in this one, whereas this one is, well, this one is not very raised at all. But again, we can kind of experiment with what that really looks like if you were to highlight some of that texture. So let me bring the camera in a little bit so you can see. Hopefully I'll remember to put it back out. That's the tricky part. So I'm trying to keep this. Okay, so I'm just going to rub this just over a portion of this. I love this. I love the idea of this color behind on top of the color that is a part of the coffee dyed paper. So check that out. That is just epic. Look at that, because you can see all that grunginess too. Oh, be still my heart. Grunge. There we go. So that is that. And so let's get this, move this back again a little bit. I don't have a focus. I don't have a like a zoom on my webcam, so I have to manually move it. So hopefully that's okay for you guys. Does it feel all right? Hoping. I want to do another one with this because I want to show you what it looks like on watercolor paper. So this one is going to be, I'm going to flip it this time and try to get the reverse emboss on this one because my watercolor paper is got a sketch on the back. So I don't really like to paint poppies, so I had this traced out for a while and I've never used it, so I'm like, I may as well just pull it and use it for this. So we're going to grab one plate again, and we're on the bottom layer of the platform because these are very heavy duty 3D embossing folders. So I will sit here when the video is over and I will do all the papers that I've pulled, and I'll show you a variety of those in the photos at the end. So that's what it looks like on white paper. Isn't that just epic? Yeah, and obviously we wouldn't be using this side because that's terrible. So let's go ahead and just, again, just to show you the contrast here of using this ink. I'm not going to move the camera. I'll just hold it up and show you here in a second. Even on the white paper. So I have actually done this and used other colored ink before. Like I was working on I believe it was the Beloved Beauty Journal, and I did some pink as well, 2 different tones of pink, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. And you can do it over and over and over again to create more and more depth in those roses. So that's what that looks like. So it would not be bad on this other side. I know it's kind of hard to see because of my sketch, but this is what the other side looks like. Again, kind of hard to see just because of that sketch, but it's equally beautiful, right? It actually might be even more beautiful. So it's just epic. So that's that. I know I keep raving, but we're going to be done with that embossing folder because I want to make sure that I get to show you a few of my favorites. So let's try some digitals here. This I believe is from Sam Poole Designs. I just purchased it this last week, so I want to try to use it. So it does not have anything on the back. So I think I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna butt it up all the way to that edge because I really want more of the script than not. So there we go. And again, we're on the bottom layer of the platform here, and we're just gonna run that through. I'm not going to ink this one, but you can see how gorgeous is that. So these embossing folders can be expensive, but guys, if you are anywhere near a Hobby Lobby, they run 50% off of these all the time. And they also, when they go on clearance, they're just, I think I got some for like $1.47. It was crazy. So, and that's what it looks like on the other side. So even this would not be bad. You can see we have a little bit of a tear there, that where you can see that black, that is actually a tear in the paper. But that is just beautiful. As this by itself would be a beautiful side pocket, just like that. So there we go. So let's be done with, well, let's do one with the watercolor paper. I'm going to be doing this anyway, so I may as well just do it with you. This is a different grade of watercolor paper, so I'm interested to see how it kind of responds. I'm going to turn it over this time. Get different, well, it's white on both sides, so it's not going to matter. Goodness gracious. There we go. So again, the plate goes on the top when you're using just one plate because it is your actual cutting plate. So just run that through. It was a little tougher. Sorry for the shaking. I know that moves the camera. It's all connected to the shelves that sit on my desk, so it feel like a bit like an earthquake. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Check it out. Look at that. Oh my word. I'm not going to ink this because this is absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. And then that's what it looks like the reverse. So again, we do have, it looks like, where am I seeing? There's a hole there. But it is okay. It's not going to like show. But that's what it looks like, you guys. And so we're going to flip back to some regular embossing folders because I know that those are more, it's going to be more possible that people have those kinds than have what I'm demonstrating with the 3D ones. I might do a little bit more at the end and just speed that up. If you guys want to continue hanging out, you guys can watch that, but otherwise I'm going to kind of keep going here just to keep us in a reasonable period of time. So I'm going to grab some of this pink paper, and I didn't cut this one down. It's not a big deal. It's not wider than the plate, so I'm just going to kind of put it there in the middle. And we're going to, we're on the second platform in this case, so we're going to get our other plate right here. And we're going to go ahead and run that through and see what we get. So check that out. And that is a simple embossing folder. And often you can get these on sale. You can get them very inexpensively on Amazon, but that's the other side of it. So you can see where you've got raised impressions in different places. It's opposite. So that is just a pale pink paper. I know the camera's not, it's a little bit more vivid than what you're seeing here. It's not a very pale pink. It's brighter. So that is that. And let's do another one with this just to see. Let's do it with the some coffee dyed paper. Actually, that's not what I want to do. Let's do it with, I'm going to do it with this music page. See what we get. It's just very thin, so I'm hopeful that it's not going to be a problem. So we're going to go ahead and put that in as well. And I don't know why I keep putting my plate clear over there where I have to reach for it. There we go. So if you have a lot of resistance, like you're really fighting your machine, you're probably on the wrong platform. Oh no, my handle's coming loose. Oh goodness, it takes a special tool too. Let me see if I've got something in here that, I don't think it's Phillips, it's something else, but I'm going to try to see if this will, if I can tighten it, because my handle is going to come off while I'm doing this, and I don't want that to happen. Shoot. This happened one day when I was trying to do this with my grandkids, and I was like, oh man, I don't know what to do because we may have to stop. So that's pretty loose. Oh, doggone it. Okay, well, let's see what we can do. We'll do what we can, okay? Oh, it's gorgeous on a book page, or music page rather. Ah, look at that. absolutely gorgeous. And again, you could come over this with some of that archival ink or some other kind of ink. Totally up to you. That did not cut through, which is awesome. So I'm really bummed about this. I can't remember what tool we had that worked too. I don't know if we had to turn the handle. Nope. Oh, I'm bummed about that. Well, we're going to keep going until it falls off. It's not broken. It's just, it gets loose just from probably all that pressure. I am going to hop back, if you guys don't mind. I wanted to show you another one of the 3D ones that's just really, really cool. This one here. This is from Sizzix. So let's try it with, this. Right. Oh, you know what? I've got some lace paper in here. I thought probably not with this one though. The lace would be kind of counterproductive. Maybe this here would be pretty. Let's try it. Sorry to be hopping around. I'm kind of excited to be showing you guys this. So cool. So cool. But I guess my point is you don't have to have the 3D ones. Embossing, regular embossing folders are equally great. I mean, this just the 3D ones just have varying levels of depth in the cuts in the embossing folder that create a little bit more of a three-dimensional look. But obviously, embossing by nature is three-dimensional because it's affecting the paper and raising up parts of the paper. So it is also very, very cool. So this is not very impressed. Oh, that's kind of pretty though. Maybe it's because we're on the paper that we're on. So I'm going to get the ink one more time and just see what I can show you here as far as what showed up. It's there. It's just a little bit harder to see. I think it's there. And it's probably just because of the design as well. So this is probably not the best paper to have chosen to do this on, but I wanted to try all kinds of surfaces to show you guys the possibilities of what you could do. So that's what that looks like. So again, it's not a great example, so I'm going to go ahead and use that folder one more time on something else that you guys can see a little bit better. So let's get a piece of the watercolor paper here. I'm going to stick this in there too. It's going to be epic. There we go. Pull that out a little bit. And again, we're just using one plate because we're on the bottom platform. Boy, that handle is not happy. Not happy at all. I need to figure out what tool fixes that. My grandkids helped me figure it out one day, but that's been a couple of years ago. It hasn't happened since, so I guess that's a good thing. So look at this. I mean, is that just amazing? And then look at it on the other side. It's equally pretty. It's just got the opposite impression. So that is what that looks like on watercolor paper. And this is not, I think this is still an artist grade, but I think it might be a 90-pound Arches paper. So a little bit lighter weight. So we'll be done with that one. And I do want to go back to the regular embossing folders here. We've got some more script here I thought would be fun to maybe put just a regular piece of digital in. So we're going to go ahead and change our oh, nope. Which one are we supposed to be on? I think, I don't know, I can't remember. Might be the other one. We'll find out. There we go. Let's just stick that in there and run this through. Plate's out of reach again. Come on, get in there. Get where you go, where you need to go. There we go. And there's my other plate. And we're going to go ahead and run that one through and see. I think that's the right level. It's going through with a little bit of resistance, but not a lot. My handle's going to fall off. Ah, can you see how loose that is? I just have to get close enough to it to see what kind of tool it needs. So that's what the script looks like. So this is one that we will also try the ink, just because you can't really see that, right? Because it's and maybe it's because of the paper that I'm doing this on. So we're going to go ahead and highlight those words with some ink. So I have to tell you, well, you won't see the video because this is going to go up before the part 3 of the Altoid Tin Mini Journal. But I was working with some matte medium, or matte gel. It's a really thick gel glue. And I put it directly on that plastic, that rubberish matte that I had, and it ruined it, completely ruined it. So I'm working straight on my table right now. I ordered just a regular glass mat, not a craft glass mat, but just a regular like office glass mat, because I don't like putting stuff directly on my desk. But so there's what it looks like when the letters or the script is highlighted. So that's another beauty. Love that. So let's try. We didn't do much with the scrapbook paper, so let's do that. Let's go ahead and run this one through again. Gorgeous. This beautiful kind of a muted out teal color. So let's move this closer again. And again, I don't know if it matters. I like to put the that part, whatever you call that, going into the machine first. I don't know that it matters, but that's what I do. And let's see what it looks like here. So in this case, because of the paper, it's perfect and beautiful just like that. Absolutely gorgeous. Simple, simple. So I need to cover up my ink there. So let's be done with the script one. Let's see what else we've got. We've got we've got this one too. This is, I don't think I want to use that one. It's kind of cheesy. But let's get this other script one out again, just bigger one. I'm going to put it on some book page here, book page paper. No, this is not book page, Cara-Renee. This is what they call coffee dyed paper. So I'm going to have to cut that off because it's not going to go through the machine because I turned it. So I just kind of just go like that and just trim it off. Make a beautiful scrap. Boy, that was tough. That one might have needed to be on the other platform, but it's still moving. So not too much resistance. Here, oh, goodness gracious. Loud thud. Okay, so let's see what this did. Oh, this is gorgeous. Oh my word, look at that. On that coffee dyed paper is just delicious, is all I can say. Delicious. Absolutely beautiful. And this didn't cut through at all. This is solid. This is 65-pound paper. I did both. I did 20-pound and 65-pound. 65-pound is preferred for me, and definitely for this. I think the regular weight, we would have some trouble with the thinner paper, but maybe not. I don't know. So let's put that one aside. I want to do one of this book page. So what would we like to put on the book page? How about some butterflies? Just because. So I'm going to kind of put it in the middle so that I get the script part essentially the most, or kind of in the middle there. And we're going to go ahead and put that through our machine. Boy, that's tight. I'm not going to slide it back through because I think that's part of what's happening when there's a lot of resistance. I think it's putting a lot of pressure on my machine here. So, oh, now this one cut through. So I don't know if you can see that. This is one side of it. That's actually kind of cool. That was opposite. It feels like it's, yeah, see, it's torn there. But what I would do with this is I would tear it along that line, and I maybe use a piece of washi tape or something kind of vintagey, and just tape that up, because that is absolutely gorgeous. This is beautiful too, like right here on that blank part. Sweet. So let's do a piece of I think I want the green. I don't want this embossing folder though. I guess I'm a little bit choosy. So we're gonna use this one. I'm loving this script. This is a new folder for me. I got it on Amazon. I'll try to remember. I've got everything set off to the side, so I shouldn't have any trouble remembering to go ahead and link all that for you guys. And here's my other plate. I went rogue again. Come on. Oh man. It's tough. Probably have it on the wrong platform. But that being said, guys, if you can get it through, it's not going to hurt your machine other than what we have going on here. It's loosening my handle. But that happens just, for me, it happens just as time goes. So I'm not too concerned about that. So that is our, oh, that's gorgeous. Oh my word, that's beautiful. I think this might be my favorite. Look at that. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So let's see what we haven't done. I want to make sure that I'm exposing you to as much as I can. Did I do some dots on watercolor paper? We did script. We did that. We did not do dots on watercolor paper. So let's do that. This is a really common embossing folder, so probably one that would be easy to find. Actually, I want to also do that with this other piece of vintage music page, and then we'll do a piece of the watercolor paper, and then we'll be done for today. So I don't want to keep you too long, and I've really essentially showed you everything that I wanted to show you, and I'm hoping that it will inspire you to get your embossing folders out. Try to I spy some sales on them and start collecting, because they are an amazing addition to your studio, an amazing addition to junk journaling and journal making, because these are gonna make some incredible layers. So look at that. And again, it didn't go through. It didn't cut. And you can usually tell that by just kind of putting your fingers on the back, like I'm doing. I'm rubbing, and I don't feel any cuts. So that is epic. So let's do one more with the watercolor paper. I don't think I did the script. Did I do the script? Oh, I gotta look, because I'm loving this embossing folder. I don't think I did. Let's do one with the watercolor paper here. I'm just all over the place, aren't I? So cool. So cool. I think this one I'm going to put this way, because then when I tear it, it's going to be going, it's going to be filling up. It's going from side to side. It's not going to reach all the way. Actually, I could throw another piece in there though. Let's do that. Why not? Yeah, we better not do that, because I don't want to affect that last bit. So on the bottom of this, because it would overlap, I believe, a little bit. So let's go ahead and put that on again. Run this through. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and just say goodbye for today. Oh, goodness. Yeah, that's definitely the wrong level. So anyway, you guys, I'm so glad that you came by. I hope you found this helpful. Leave me a comment if you did or did not. I am all for any kind of comments, good, bad, or indifferent. And I don't plug my channel very often, you guys, in terms of like saying, oh, please subscribe, blah, 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 blah. But I do occasionally, every 6 or 7 or 8 videos, I do mention it. If you like the content, if you would give me a like on the video and subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I upload videos. I do upload 3 to 4 videos a week, sometimes more. And the reason why that's important is that the algorithms that YouTube uses, that's what it's looking at, is how many times somebody clicked on it, how many times, how many likes a video has, and those kinds of things. So I don't care, again, if you didn't like the video and you want to hit the thumbs down, I have no problem with that. Like, I want my content to meet the needs of my viewers. And so if it's not up your alley and you want to let me know, please do. But otherwise, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And it helps my channel. It helps me be visible to more people. And that's always a beautiful thing. But this is what this one looks like. So cool. So thank you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.